and it's just a big wall of vegetation, and
we can't even see the sidewalk really.
You can hear a little traffic going by, but you can barely see it. So it's really lovely, and we really feel like I feel like we're out of our element.
Well, tomorrow, two things we want to do besides go out at night and have more rum drinks or whatever. Is we want to, there's a cemetery that is right close to where we are. I haven't seen it yet, but it's just like a block back north. They call it north, but it's really east.
Right.
It's really northeast. There's a cemetery where they have a memorial to the battleship Maine.
Yes, remember the Maine.
Remember the Maine. And then we also want to walk to the marker that marks the southernmost point of the lower 48, right?
Right, the continental United States. Southernmost. I guess Hawaii is technically further south. It's on the equator practically. But in terms of the continental United States of active state, I mean, this is still, even though this is a really different world, it's still technically the state of Florida. So it's going to be the southernmost point. That's going to be fun.
One thing we might try to do tomorrow, too, maybe, is have chocolate-dipped key lime pie on a stick. And we've had key lime pie. We've already talked about that, though, on another podcast, haven't we? The key lime pie. Don't bother to even buy it up north, because if it's not key lime pie.
No.
But down here they have chocolate-dipped key lime pie on a stick.
Yeah,
which we will try.
Oh, there's a thing. Just to back up on the trip, what we spent last night on Marathon Key, which is like halfway between Key Largo and Key West, about. And we went to, again, this is very, we were taking this trip very largely in a serendipitous kind of way, like just kind of discovering things as we find it. And we just kind of looked at this little hand-drawn map that the girl at the Blue Waters Resort had drawn up, and there's a couple different places to stop at. One of them was Salty's Sunset Grille, and we thought, let's stop at Salty's. And we got there, we got out of our car, we were walking, and it had just dumped, the weather was still in its raining mode. There was a shitload of water all over everything. And when we're walking up, we're noticing, the chairs in the bar are turned upside down and everything. And there was like some boating guys, because there's always also a marina where you could dock your boats and stuff. And so this one guy was standing there talking to his friends, and he saw us walking up. And we said, is this place not open now? And he said, oh yeah, the owner, his daughter's graduating, and so he's going to be at her graduation party, so they closed the day. And that's the kind of laid-back feeling you get through the whole Keys. And he said, but it's going to be open tomorrow. I said, oh, okay. So I remember I saw a cell phone sitting there, and I say, is this your cell phone? And he goes, no. And he asked this other guy, did you lose your cell phone? We never figured out how that drama played out because we got back in the car. So he said, well, just before the 7 Mile Bridge. And again, you may have seen that video on Facebook of us crossing the 7 Mile Bridge. Just before it, there was this place called the Sunset Grille. So let's try this. And it was on the little hand-drawn map. So we go there, and we had a great time. We told our waitress that it was our 25th anniversary. And she kind of asked idly, oh, you got room for dessert? And we just kind of said, oh, we're thinking about it. And we were drinking beer. We were drinking the Key West Sunset Ale, which is very delicious. They had on tap there. And boy, that is good on tap. Good. But we had coconut shrimp for dinner, and we were really full. I mean, that coconut shrimp, I never tasted anything like that in my life. And you had neither, had you, Marge?
No.
No, I mean, that was some delicious stuff.
That's the thing about I've said this to so many times that I'm not a seafood eater at all, and in the Midwest where we are, I just, it's like, ugh. But down here, it's, if you're going to eat seafood, eat it near the ocean.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Eat it near the ocean.
Yeah.
Because down
that's
here,
good advice.
and I've heard people say this before, that near the ocean, when you have seafood, it does not taste fishy.
No, and that, oh my God, it's so true. But, so we had delicious coconut shrimp. Our waitress was so sweet. All of a sudden, we're kind of winding down. I mean, it was around sunset time, and the sun was glaring in through the open bar, and we're going to see right at the, I mean, you could see the 7 Mile Bridge from this bar. It was beautiful, a beautiful view. All of a sudden, she comes with a great big pice of key lime pie and just plops it down
to us and said happy anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, oh, we ate it.
Yeah, we ate
the shit out of it.
But we ate it.
No, we were so sick. We were so sick afterwards, but we had to. We ate slow. We
ate at another place yesterday too, which was that Marina, that Burdine's.
Oh yeah, now talk a little about that.
We had, and that was recommended by the woman who was managing the Blue Waters Resort where we stayed. Recommended these Burdine's Marina, and we had black beans and rice.
My God.
Oh
Shit.
my God!
Yeah, I
made
mean,
by a Cuban person.
You think when you buy the little box of Zatarain's...
oh man.
This is...
Zatarans.
This is nothing.
Hey Zatarans, I have something to tell you. Forget it.
That's true, though.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's true.
Oh.
No, this is something... Yeah, I mean, it was kind of rainy, but it was open. It was like a channel leading out to the Gulf. It was so beautiful. And we asked our waitresses, how's the black beans and rice? And
she said it's made by, it's the best in the Keys. Of course, they all say that.
They all say that. But
she said it's made by a Cuban, but you can tell. Oh, God, it was so good.
No, it was delicious.
And you had yours with the grilled shrimp.
I had grilled shrimp. We're eating a lot more seafood down here, obviously, but man, that was crazy good. I've never tasted shrimp like that either, until I had the coconut shrimp later on. Last shrimp yesterday. So, we got on the old 7 Mile Bridge and headed, and we crossed all these little keys connected with little bridges and channels, and we went. What is it? What is the name of the key that supposedly has the key deer?
Big Pine Key.
Big Pine Key. We didn't see any little deer, but apparently the ideal time to see those is like sunset and
sunrise.
And we were in the middle of the morning. But and on Marathon Key where we spent the night last night, there's green parrots flying wild everywhere, but we didn't see any of those. I might have heard some, but we didn't see any. We had a really big storm last night in our little resort. We haven't mentioned that either.
Well, it wasn't really last night. It was in the afternoon.
Well, yeah, it was in the afternoon. That's true. What I meant was yesterday. Mm-hmm. This is, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, this is probably the first inebriated On the Lam podcast. Marge and I are a little... You could probably hear it. You're probably laughing at us right now.
We're very rum-runnered right now.
Yeah, we're rummed. We're rummed. Well, we sat in our kitchen of our little resort playing Yahtzee and looking at the little palm tree outside the kitchen window being bent in half by this thunderstorm wind. And, but, people are just taking it in stride. It's like, yeah, this happens. I think unless they get a hurricane warning, they really don't care, And it's a really laid-back attitude down here. But, so, we got on the road and we came down and it was very exciting. It has the mileage markers marked off. Like, the closer you get to Key West, the less miles. I mean, so
And they don't have exits because there are really no
There are
exits.
no exits.
They have mile markers.
You could drive into the ocean.
They start at mile number 110 back at somewhere out of Homestead.
Yeah.
They start at mile marker 110, and then they just go down to 0.
And when you get to 0, you're in Key West.
Key West. Well, actually, it's a little.
It's really the 0 means
I think it's
you're
0
at the
when
end
you
of
hit
Key West.
Yeah, when you hit Duval Street, I think you're at 0.
But so the numbers are getting smaller and smaller. We were like, we're in Key West finally. Finally, we attained our goal, and we drove all the way from Elwood, Illinois, to Key West, Florida. And we're going to spend a week here, and hopefully, a few more podcasts down here. And we're celebrating, as I said, our 25th anniversary, and it's pretty nice. We got about 5 more minutes. If you have anything,
let's see.
Did we cover everything we did today?
Well, we talked about Willie T's. We talked about walking.
Did we talk about Willie T's?
Yeah, we had.
Well, now here's the thing.
There.
I don't. Yeah, we had lunch there, and there was this mist blowing out of the fans over there.
Oh yeah, and you thought they were venting smoke out of the kitchen.
Yeah, but that's not it at all. It was just misting because it's so hot down here.
Cool.
Keeps everybody cool. The restaurant was blowing mist on people, and our waitress, whose name was Monique. Hello, Monique, if you ever hear this. Monique, who works at Willie T's. Willie T's. Yeah, that's right. Willie T. I'm a Willie T. That's why I should remember. If you see Monique at Willie T's on Key West, give her a big tip because she was great. But she said, there's people that love it or hate it. And I said, well, what category do you fall in? And she says, well, on a hot day, it's great. I love it. But today's the kind of day where it's humid.
It was so humid. She said it
just kind of makes it worse.
More humid because of all the rain. They've had a lot of rain.
But so it wasn't smoke. It was actually water. We couldn't really tell. It was blowing so fine. All these fans had little jets. I imagine we'll see more of that down here. But it was something these northern folk that you're listening to had never seen before. And we went into what was the name of the shop that had all the sculptures and the liquidation,
an estate
liquidation shop. Wasn't that it?
Yeah. I don't think.
I never knew such a thing existed.
But anyway, it was the stuff that they had purchased, I guess, from different estate sales.
Yeah, and it was
there was some really beautiful stuff in there.
Thousands of dollars.
A lot of chandeliers, a lot of
beautiful dining room tables and chairs that were just, from the last century. I mean, the woodwork was unbelievable. And sculptures of the sea and dolphins and sea turtles and
a lot of glassware.
Yeah, mermaids diving for
Tiffany
pearls
glass.
and giant clam shells and things you never would have thought existed. A roll top desk that was made of this wood. I couldn't tell you what it was. It was hand molded. Wood that's molded with moisture. I know. I mean, it was unrecognizable by any common eyes. It's like, and my eyes are as common as they come. But that was during the morning when we were waiting for our room to be ready. We just kind of wandered in there. Yeah. It was very humid. It had just rained. There was a rain. It was like sporadic rain. And that was one of the guy that charged us $20 at the parking lot tonight. He looks at our car.